Alright, how's it going everybody? This is Hybrid Collectibles here, and this is going to be the first video in my series of ranking Funko Pops. Basically how this series goes is I see new Funko Pops that are coming out, I rank them from worst to best. Obviously this is all opinionated. I explain to you a little bit of why I feel the way I feel, and I also explain what I would change about them if there's anything, because it's easy to come on here and say, oh, this is bad for this reason, this is great for this reason, but explaining something I would change, I think is a good idea to add a little bit more constructive criticism to my opinions. So with the upcoming release of Funko's new Hunter x Hunter line, I was really interested in it because I love the show. I actually just finished it recently. I started it a while ago, but I got a little bit bored around the Greed Island arc. Please don't flame me, anybody. But yeah, I basically just kept going with it. I continued it, and I really liked the show, so I do want to rank these in order from worst to best. So starting off with number 5, I'm going to need you guys to bear with me, and I will explain why. But number 5, I have Gon, and this includes the Hot Topic exclusive. So first things first, I think he has a great pose, right? He looks good, the pose is great, the sculpt is great. The rock, paper, scissors, Nen ability, it looks good. Overall, I think it's a good pop, but I don't think it's a bad pop. The one thing though that really gets me is his hair. I just feel like watching the show, and comparing him to literally any picture you see, we see that Gon always has that green tint to his hair, and I feel like there's something they could have done with the pop version of that instead of making it a matte black. So I do want to say shout out to Reddit user RayVoxRelic. He put up basically his own concepts and comparisons with the ones that were announced, and I really like what he did with Gon. If you look at his concept, you see that Gon has the green part of his hair, that accent. I really think that Funko should have included that. Not too sure why they didn't, but overall I feel like that's something that is really important to the character and something that makes him stand out and makes him very identifiable. Another thing too is just that looking at the Hot Topic exclusive, we see Gon in a tank top. So yeah, different pose, different outfit. But in actuality, I just feel like there's more they could have done to make it a little more creative. I mean, they could have given him the fishing rod, just like Ray Vox has on his. And even like the little fishing hat that he wore in that one episode. I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. But this would have been, I think, more creative and made people want to go seek out that exclusive at Hot Topic more than just him in a tank top. Because if we're being honest here, the only reason people would grab that other one is because it's an exclusive. If it wasn't an exclusive, everybody would want the one where he's doing rock, paper, scissors because it just looks cooler. It looks better overall than the exclusive. So I feel like, maybe in the next wave they'll do something with the fishing rod or they might do his transformation. But as a whole, I just feel like the exclusive is a little bit disappointing. And I just feel like there's a little more they could have done with his hair to make him look just more Gon-like, if you know what I'm saying. Coming up at number 4, we have Cora Pika. So overall, I think Cora Pika looks very true to the character. I think they did a great job with the sculpt, great job with the pose. The chain looks amazing. I love how it wraps around behind him. The colors are great. The one thing I would change about Cora Pika, and the reason I have him at number 4, is I just feel like the hair sculpt is a little too bowl-like. I mean, I guess you could say he has a bowl cut. Yeah, sure. But I feel like it narrows down a little more towards the bottom. And, watching the show and comparing it to another picture I saw, it just looks like it's a little too round for it to be accurate to the character. So, once again, throwing up that concept from Ray Vox, I think he also did a really good job with the head and hair sculpt of Cora Pika. So shout out to you. I really like your concepts. But yeah, I just feel like they could have shaped the hair a little bit better. And, with that fix, I feel like it would have been a near perfect pop. But overall, I still love the Cora Pika pop. I think it looks great and very true to the character. So good job to Funko on that one. Coming up at number 3, I have Oreo. Oreo, I think, is a phenomenal representation of the character. I mean, his hair overall, it's original sculpt. It looks amazing. I love how they were able to make it look messy and stick up and everything like that, just like the show. When you look at his face, he definitely has the most detailed face out of any other pops in this lineup. Mainly because if you look at the stress marks on his face, you can definitely pick up on his expressions. So great job on the face details, great job on the hair. I also really like his glasses, the positioning of his glasses. He always made a bunch of facial expressions where his glasses would dip low. So I really like adding that detail to him. I think they did a great job with the glasses. I love it. And also I think his attack looks really cool. I mean, come on, that's a pretty cool base. It looks awesome. I'm excited to see that one in person, see if it's going to be a little more translucent. But the one thing that I would change about it, which is honestly just being a little picky, is I would possibly add his suitcase in the other hand. So is that going to hold me back from liking this one? Absolutely not. I love it. Okay, these top 3 are definitely my favorites, and I love all of them, but I just think the suitcase might be kind of cool to add in there as well. Okay, so between 1 and 2, these were really tough to decide, but coming up in number 2 is Hisoka. Okay, I love the Hisoka pop. I absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to grab it. I mean, I'm most likely going to end up getting the whole series, but I just love Hisoka. Like, his detail on his face is amazing. I like it. Very minimal, but at the same time, you know, you can easily pick this apart across a store. If I was to walk into a store and look across, I would immediately be able to identify that that's Hisoka. So I think they did a great job with his face. His pose is amazing. His hair detail, very accurate. I think they got everything very accurate to the show. And I just love the aura of his sticky cards. Okay, it looks super cool. You know, I didn't really expect them to do that. I thought they were just going to have him holding up his cards, like that one pose he does, but they ended up putting the sticky aura, which I really like. You know, seeing the visible Nen is awesome. One thing I would change, which honestly, it might even be on the real pop, it's just hard to tell from this angle in the picture, is that the bottom of his hair, you know, in the show, it fades from purple to that reddish pinkish. So I think it'd be pretty cool if they were to start the hair on the bottom purple and then have that paint fade to the red. But overall, amazing pop, and I'm absolutely in love with this Hisoka. And so number 1, I'm sure a lot of you are not surprised about my pick. My number 1 is Killua. So overall, I think he has a perfect sculpt, perfect pose. His Nen aura and the electricity behind him just looks amazing. I love how it wraps around him. I love how he has that pose and it's surrounding him. I think he has a great stance. The hair sculpt looks perfect, just like the show. I really like how it's all over the place. And I just think if you were to look at this one too, compare it to any photo, I mean, it looks like Killua. It looks amazing. Thinking about anything I would change, if I'm being very honest with you, I mean, I can't really think of much I would change. I think they absolutely nailed the regular Killua form. I think eventually, you know, the next wave is going to come out with Godspeed and stuff like that, which we're all really looking forward to, if we're being honest. But I think for the base Killua and him still trying to figure out his abilities and using that electric Nen, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great, great sculpt. And shout out to Funko for that one, because Killua is definitely my number 1. So thank you everybody for watching the video. If you disagree with any of my picks, feel free to let me know why down below. Let me know what your ranking would be from worst to best and how you're feeling about the new Hunter x Hunter Funkos. Also, let me know if you're going to be picking up any of these. So I hope you all have a magnificent day and look forward to picking up the new Pops. See you guys.